Bonjour tout le monde, welcome to Weekday Wanderings in Paris. My name's Jackie. Today we're in the 15th at the moment, but we will be straddling over into the 14th. And we're at someplace I have never been before. It's crazy because I have been in this neighbourhood for so long, been here so many times, and yet this is the first time I've been to the exact location we are right now. And this is what these walks are about. It's about me discovering Paris. So you're discovering it with me. So let's see where we are. We're actually on top of the Gare Montparnasse. Can you believe it? So we are here at the Jardin Atlantique. The Jardin Atlantique. So if you can see that building up there. Hello Susie, welcome. This is the Tour Montparnasse. You can just see the little top of it poking its head out above here. So we are literally on top of the Gare Montparnasse in this beautiful park, which Morning Sally. Hello Mona, special shout out to Mona who's just arrived here in Paris, and I'm going to catch up with her tomorrow. I'm so excited for that, Mona. Okay, so this is 3.5 hectares, this park. I am joined today by my two little girls who are on school holidays, so they're going to be in the background. Hopefully they'll be nice and cooperative. I hope so. Say hello girls.
Hello.
Hello. Alright, so this is, so like I've only been to this little park for about the last 20 minutes, half an hour perhaps. And I haven't navigated all of it. There's lots of little hidden nooks and crannies. It's really exciting. Hi Judy. So Susie says she missed it so much. Is that Paris or is that Gare Montparnasse in particular? So look what we've got here. This is a meteorological station. Isn't this cool? So obviously it's acting as a modern sculpture piece. So this park was built in 1994, so it's relatively new. Okay, so here we have a barometer, so it explains about you know, what the standard pressure and everything is here. Hello Glenda May, bonjour. So here's a barometer here, and probably a good time to mention that it's really chilly today. And it started raining before, which totally caught me off guard because I didn't expect it. My girls are dressed in sundresses. I did advise them not to, but they didn't listen to me, of course, because I'm their mother. Speaking of which, hello Margaret, I can see you're there. Nice of you to join us. We have a thermometer here. Kieran, hi, how's it going? From bonjour from bloody Sydney. So you're obviously not happy to be back in Sydney after your little visit to Melbourne. I can't actually see where the temperature is. I suppose we're up here somewhere, aren't we? We should be around 10 degrees at the moment.
It's funny.
Okay, so it's a bit chilly. Okay, and over here is a plovometer. Bonjour Margaret. Okay, so this measures the rainfall, and that's this thing here. Okay, and then we've got this big, it looks black at the moment, but it's actually a metallic or mirrored disc, which they can move around to different angles. Okay, so as I just discovered this place, this wasn't actually anticipated on the walk that I wanted to take you on today, so I should probably not spend too long lingering. But there is an absolutely gorgeous garden over here. You can go up these stairs, and these beautiful little formations. You think we should go up very quickly? What do you think? Maybe really quickly, just really fast. Okay, so I'm holding out hope that it's not going to start raining on us again, because that really caught me off guard. Don't want my girls freezing, and I myself are a little cold as well. But they've got all these little hidden nooks and crannies in this park. Like I said, it's 3.4 hectares, so it's a decent size. And these are all vents that are going directly into the gare. You can actually hear the trains. The garden's beautiful at the moment, lots of beautiful flowers. Just wanted to show you this little piece here. Lots of these little nooks and crannies. Beautiful garden down here. Picnic area, that's actually a table with a chessboard on it. Look at this. Isn't this cool? Sally says it's raining here in Melbourne. Isn't this neat? So you can hear the trains?
Yeah.
Yeah. So lots and lots. There is apparently a playground. Is there a hole there? Sophie's a bit concerned about the hole. Okay, let's go, girls. So yeah, there's a kids playground here somewhere, but we haven't actually found it yet. So we'll have to come back and search that some other time. Okay. So we while I'm walking down the stairs, it's really chilly. Is that in Melbourne? It's really chilly. What a lovely garden, so close to the gare. Well, it's on top of the gare, so yeah, it's super close. So yeah, it is. It's lovely, isn't it? And like I said, because I live in this general neighbourhood, it's really a surprise to me to discover it after all these years. And I have walked past it so many times. Okay, so there's tennis courts over here, lots of tennis courts, and you can hire them out. Actually, down where we were here, where we started, you can see ML. Okay, and so what that used to be was the Muséum de la Libération, the Muséum de Général Leclerc, le Musée de Jean Moulin, which have now also all been moved to the building, the pavilion, which is across from the catacombs. So that's where it originally was, and of course now it's moved to here. Okay, so it's one of the tennis courts there. Okay, so this garden, the reason it's called Atlantique is because the Gare Montparnasse, it services the area which goes down to the Atlantique. Yes. Oh yeah, Juliet's found a helicopter. Throw it up in the air, Juliet. Woohoo! Okay. Alright. Lots of azaleas and rhododendrons and stuff out. That's the season. Okay. Alright, let's keep walking. So the area we're coming to is coming out by Boulevard Pasteur. Come, Juliet. Okay. Alright, so we've got a bus hub here. Lots of very modern buildings, of course. A gym. Gyms are very, very popular here. Okay, so of course this is a part of, well, an aspect of Paris I'm not really keen on, the modern aspect, but obviously it's has its uses. And so this area was obviously an area that was very underdeveloped for a long time. There was mainly farm and everything here. And for a long time, of course, it was outside of Paris itself. Okay, so Boulevard Pasteur, it leads down this way, the Institut Pasteur, so Louis Pasteur's laboratory and everything is all down this way. Also what's down it is the Lycée Buffon, and the Lycée Buffon is such a beautiful building actually. But one thing in particular which is notable is this here. Here's a memorial, and it's because this is called the Place des 5 Martyrs du Lycée Buffon. So there were 5 students who went to the Lycée Buffon who were executed during World War II by the Nazis. They were resistance. Okay, So this area was very working class, and a lot of those working class people were resistance during World War II. So it's a really strong cultural aspect of this part of Paris. Okay, so we've got lots of buses here. Susie's in Melbourne, just like Judy. We need to catch up. Okay. Bus 91 is a very popular one, very handy one. I take it quite often. And I particularly like this road, and I'll show you why very soon. But unfortunately, the part that I want to show you is very noisy. So I hope that we are, you're going to be able to hear everything. Okay. Let's turn around here. Stop. Okay, so do you see why I like it here? It's probably not the best view, but it is a gorgeous view of the Eiffel Tower, apart from all those poles and everything. Let's go down here. We're heading towards the Place de Catalogne. The Place de Catalogne, which is undergoing some major reworking. The Place de Catalogne was made in the 80s, and the reason it was called La Place de Catalogne was because a very notable architect was responsible for this large white building you see here, which is something I want to show you. Okay, and that architect's name was Ricardo Bofill, and he was from Catalan in Spain. So this is why this was called the Place de Catalogne. Now in the middle there, they have just literally started tearing that up. Catalan, Place de Catalogne, there's a G in there before the N. I think I got that right, yes. This used to be a fountain. Unfortunately, the fountain hasn't worked for the last 20 years. So they finally decided last week that they were going to tear it up and redo it. Right, we're crossing the road now. Oh, before we cross the road, there we go. You can tell we're on a hill here, because as you walk down towards it, you know, your view gets a little distorted, but yeah, it's really, I love this view here. Okay, on y va. So, this beautiful large building that we are looking at right now, it's very special. It's called Les Échelles de Baroque, and it was built in the mid-1980s, and this architect, whose name was Ricardo Bofill, he has a very particular style of architecture. Sorry about the noise. Didn't expect it to be so noisy. Okay, this is apartments. Can you believe it's an apartment block? I saw that view yesterday as the taxi I was in exited the Gare Montparnasse. What a surprise. Of course I couldn't get my phone out. Well, you could always come back here. It's nice and close, Mona. I could bring you back if you like, or yeah. Or you can steal my photos. Okay. So, isn't this fantastic? Okay, so this little thing here, it just says, in Eastern civilization, water flowing over stone is a symbol of peace. So the sculptor who made the fountain, which has been redone, that's okay. So we're actually on a street here, but then there's a pedestrian here. So So this is called Les Échelles du Baroque, and this architect's style is very dystopian-like. His most famous work, in my opinion, was the Espace d'Abraxas, which is in Noisy-le-Grand. I was there last year in October. So now this part here is private, so we can't access it, but if we can just peek our nose in, no, we can't see anything, unfortunately. Okay, but if we go over to this side, then you can see more. So these are all apartment buildings. So of the 2 apartment blocks, there are 274 apartments. Okay. So this one is open to the public, and this gives you an idea. So the Espace d'Abraxas, in Noisy-le-Grand is very similar to this, although it's way better. And I can show you my my video and my post from last year, so that you see what that's like. So if you have seen the movie the Hunger Games, the Hunger Games was filmed in the Espace d'Abraxas, and very dystopian like, and this is very similar to it. Okay. Isn't it stunning? So these are all apartment buildings, low cost apartment buildings. So this is called the Place de Seoul. Seoul is in the city in Korea. I tried to find out why it's called that, but I really couldn't. Okay, so there's another exit down there, which is by the Rue du Château. Now the Rue du Château goes through my neighbourhood, and there used to be a chateau there. It was owned by the, well, originally by the Comte de Maine. So one of the main streets is called Rue de Maine, or Avenue de Maine, and it was his chateau there. Of course the chateau doesn't exist anymore. It was demolished in 1898. Okay, so let's exit from here. So yeah, so the other building is, so this one is in an ellipse shape, it's an oval shape, and this one over here is, it's called the Place de l'Amphithéâtre, so it's designed like an amphitheatre, and it's pretty stunning. Okay. Alright, so we're on this road we're on is the Rue Saint-Ver. I always fumble with this. Let me show you the sign so you know. So we're actually over in the 14th now, okay? Once we crossed over the roundabout, we were in the 14th. So this is the Rue Vercingétorix. Judy says, so Jackie, low cost housing, is that like public housing? Yes, indeed. Okay, so if the end of the name gives it away, this man was the famous chief of the Gauls. So the Gauls, if you know Asterix and Obelix, they were the people who lived here in France prior to the Roman conquest, and of course when the Romans came in and triumphed over them. It was at the Battle of Alesia. Now I live at Alesia, so this road that we're on transects with the Rue d'Alesia, and Rue d'Alesia is the only street in Paris apparently named after a defeat, a wartime defeat. So at the Battle of Alesia, the Gauls lost to Julius Caesar, and Vercingétorix, he was captured and he was taken back to Rome, and eventually he was executed. Very sad, huh? Alright, so we're going to end here, but before we end I want to show you this church here. So this church is relatively new. It it was started at the very end of the 1800s. And the cool thing about it, so this is the Notre Dame du Travail. So like I said, this was very much a working class neighborhood, and they because a lot of the ouvriers, or the work people who worked on the Universal exhibitions and such, they were living in this area. So low cost housing, a lot of workers living here, and they were they needed a church because there were no churches in the area. So this was built in, for them. Now I was hoping the doors would be open because they were open the other day when I was here, so that you could see inside. And I don't really like going into churches, but there's something very special about this church. Okay, and the thing that's really cool about it is, in 1855 there was the Universal exhibition, and there was a beautiful big building called the Palais de l'Industrie et des Beaux-Arts. And after, of course, a lot of those buildings were brought down after the exhibitions. They kept them up for 10 years or so, 20 years, and then they pulled them down. And when they did that, they actually upcycled all the scaffolding, or the interior, the bones, if you like. And what they did was they upcycled them to this church here. I'm just wondering if I can, no, it's not going to work. I do feel really bad about this because I don't like going in. Let me just poke my head in the door. It's like the Eiffel Tower. Okay, that's all I want to do. I don't want to. Okay. So yeah, so you can see it looks like the Eiffel Tower there, but the whole inside of the church is like that, which I think is kind of stunning. So yeah, it's dedicated to the workman, the working class man. So anyway, so this road, the Rue de Saint-Gétorix, which means Great Warrior King. It was supposed to be this big, it was supposed to be called the Radial, which was like a main route leaving the city, but instead it became a little bit more low-key. We've got a lovely little park here, which I promised the girls they could play at once we finished our walk. So anyway, good place to end, right? Here we go, and I will try and flip my camera around. Okay, cool. All right, I think I've said everything that I planned to say with my little walk. This space that we're in is a big green space, which let me go to the other side here and I'll show you. This big green space here is obviously, it's good for walking, and there's little parks and playgrounds around, so that's kind of cool. And it borders the train lines that come from the Gare Montparnasse. So let me flip my camera back around again. Hopla. We could go up here perhaps quickly, and I'll finish here. So plenty of opportunity to take a nice little relaxed walk. See if I can get past here. Bonjour. Up the steps. So look, we've got tennis courts, netball court, oh not netball, basketball. They don't have netball here, do they? So you've got all the train lines coming from Montparnasse, and you've got Little Montparnasse here, and here you can just see the roof of the top of Tour Eiffel. Okay, well, okay, Okay, now I'm puffed after running up the stairs. Let's finish here. Say goodbye, girls.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining us on our little walk here. I hope you enjoyed that, showing you somewhere a little bit different here in Paris. I never know where I'm going to be next week, so I can't tell you where, but I always have great ideas. So if there's anything you want to see, just let me know, okay? Thanks again for joining me. We'll see you next time. Mona, we'll see you really, really soon. Take care, everybody.